StraiGhtAllDay.com.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of wait for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is what the pros do that you may not be doing. What the pros do that you don't do. We're just going to put it that way because we're going to make sure that we're giving ourselves a checkup from the neck up here today on what's actually happening out there in the game and what we need to be doing in the game. But before we get into that, let me tell you, when I have a daily motivation text that I send out for free every morning to everyone in my text community. Text me to get this message. My number is 305-384-6894. You'll get it free every day. Secondly, my next live event, Work on Your Game Live, is February 3rd and 4th in Miami, Florida. Physical event, physical location event. You want to be there. I'm telling you want to be. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you want to be there. So get your ticket by going to workonyourgame.live. If the page is still up, that means you can still get a ticket to this event. Come to Miami, be in the room for these 2 full days with me. And third, your next step in the Work on Your Game world, as you're already listening to the show, is to join Work on Your Game University. That's where you can be coached by me directly. That's where you can join my courses. You can get access to all my courses and exclusive trainings, and also get some physical mailings that we send on a consistent basis every month to everyone who's in our university. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Now, with all that said, let's get into the topic, which is what the pros do that you don't. So just a few days ago, episode 24 talked about what the top 2% are doing that you are not doing. So that one was really about approach and about the mentality of what certain people are doing that other people are not doing. And the day after that, episode 25 talked about the habits that are keeping you average. Today we're going to talk about what the professionals are doing out there, because everybody wants to be a professional at what they do, i.e. you want to do something you want to choose something as your main paid occupation and make the bulk of your money from that thing. I think most people who listen to this show have something that you already are clear on. Either you're already clear on exactly what you are doing or want to do as your main paid occupation, or there's something that you want to get to as your main thing. You want that thing to be your main thing, but it's not quite there just yet. So since everybody wants to be a professional, or at least they think they want to be a professional, the challenge is most people actually they may look at the trappings of professional success, which includes attention, fame, notoriety, respect, money, all those other material outcomes. They notice those things, and those are the things that they want. That's the thing that drives you to want to be a professional. But what many people don't understand is that being a professional is a lot more than just that stuff. And today we're going to talk about a few of those things that will be very important to you becoming and remaining a professional. And it goes outside of, again, the trappings. The trappings are simply just the results of being a professional, such as getting attention, being known in your space, making money, getting a certain amount of respect, having a certain level of prestige. There's some other things that come with being a professional that lead to those results. Point number one, topic once again, is what the pros do that you do not do. Number one, invest in themselves and their business with money that they do not even have. Should I say that one again? Let me say it again. Professionals invest in themselves and into their careers or businesses with money that they don't even have, if and when it's necessary. If they have it, then they'll invest with the money they have. But often professionals may have to invest with money that they don't have. See, this is the chicken and egg problem that many people, professionals and would-be professionals, eventually run into. Chicken and egg problem is that you want to invest in yourself and your business because you know investing in yourself and in your business will help take you to a higher level, but you can't do it, or at least you think you can't, because you don't have the money. So since you're not at a high enough level to have the money, you can't invest in yourself. And because you don't invest in yourself, you can't get to a higher level. So it's like the chicken and the egg. Which one comes first? But you won't have money because you don't know what to do or how to do it. So you can't get to the point of having the money, so you can't invest in yourself. And it's like this back and forth. It's like you're playing ping pong in your mind and you don't know what to do because you got two different problems and each of them is leading to the other problem. Here's what the professionals do. Any of you who has this problem, and I talk to people all the time who have this problem. I want to go to a higher level, but I don't have the money. But the only way for me to have the money is to be at a higher level, but I'm not there yet. And it's like, what do you do? Let me tell you what the pros do. You want to know what they do? Here's what they do. They bet against their future by investing in themselves today. Professionals bet against their future. And when I say bet against their future, I don't mean that in a negative way. In other words, they take what they are going to produce in the future and they find a way to get that now, and they use it to invest in themselves today. So in other words, kind of like a mortgage. All right, this is going to be worth this much in the future, so I want you to give me that amount now, and I'm going to use it to build myself up to get to where it is actually worth that much in the future. That's what the pros do. In other words, they got to borrow, if they got to use credit, if they got to go get some credit, if they got to dip into their savings. This is what professionals do. And the reason that they do this is not because they're being financially reckless. They're doing it because they understand this is what they need so that they can get better and do the stuff that they will then know how to do. They can make their investment back, so they get back what they just borrowed or took out of their savings or got from somewhere else, used credit for. They make their investment back, and then they get into the black where they're actually making more than what they invested. This is what professionals do. And if you wouldn't have to look far, and there are many professionals who are listening to me right now who know they have done some version of this. You have borrowed money, you spent money that you didn't want to spend, or that you weren't planning on spending is a better way of saying it. You wanted to spend it because you spent it. You used credit that you didn't really want to use. You dipped into savings that you previously hadn't wanted to touch for the purpose of investing into yourself and your career and into your business, because you calculated that doing so, you would not only make back what you were investing, but also you make more than what you had invested, because that's what makes it, that's how you get your return. That's how you get your return on investment. This is what professionals do, folks. Too many amateurs out there have the challenge of, well, I don't have the money, and they use that as their reason for not investing in themselves. The problem is, if you use I don't have the money as the reason for not investing in yourself, what happens is this reason becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you will continue to not have money. You're going to keep having the same problem of you don't have the money. I'm not telling you to do this with every single investment opportunity that gets thrown in front of you, because sometimes they're not actually worth it. But at some points, you will need to do this. And if you don't, then you'll continue to have the same problem over and over again. Many people have already experienced this, and or some of you may be experiencing this problem right now, and you want to get better, which will require an investment, but you're telling yourself, well, you don't have the money to make the investment, so you can't get better, so therefore you can't make the money. And again, you're like in this cycle. What do you do? Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is what the pros do that you do not do. Number 2, they keep working even when it's not working. They keep working even when it's not working. I've talked about this in several episodes here of the show. In episode number 1561, I talked about how to know when your work is working, but I want to talk about one of the recent episodes when I talked about this. Episode 2421, what to do when nothing is working, just a few days ago. Also episode 2409, working on myself is not a goal. Professionals keep working even when the thing that they're doing is not working, which means they keep going to work, they keep showing up at the gym, they send another email, they launch another product, they run another ad campaign, even when the last time didn't go so great. I can't tell you how many times I played ball in a recreational basketball league game at night. A game that started at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Came home, went to sleep at 11:30 or midnight, and still set my alarm for 4 or 5 a.m. the next morning so I could get a workout in that very next morning after the game the previous night. Now, why would I do this? I did this because I knew that most other athletes in my position would not get up and work out after just playing in the game the previous night. It's what I call the separation day, and I wrote about this in my book, The Third Day. Separation day is that little tiny incremental difference you make between you and another person when you show up to do the work and they don't. Given that you know what you're doing, given that you actually have a process that you're following. Professionals in business do the exact same thing. They continue to show up doing the work even when the work that they have been doing has not yet produced the desired outcome. This is the reason why professionals are professionals, because they keep showing up and doing the work even when things are not working. You don't become a professional because you're so much better than everyone else, or because everything that you do magically works, everything you touch turns to gold. That is not why it happens. You become a professional not in the times when things are working. You become professional in the times when things are not working. Should I say that one again? Because I want to make sure that one sunk in. You become a professional not in the times when things are working. You become a professional in the times when things are not working. Because it's easy to be a professional and walk around and think that you're hot stuff when everything's working. All right, that's easy. Anybody can do that. What do you do when it's not working? What do you do when your last ad campaign failed and you lost money? What do you do when the last product you launched got crickets and nobody bought it? What do you do when nobody's responding to your posts with your calls to action? What do you do then? That's when we find out who's a true professional. That's the separation day. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is what the pros do that you do not do. Number 3, the pros collaborate, synergize, and use the brains of other people. This is a big one right here. This is a big one. Many people, especially entrepreneurs, some of you, have this false idea of being the lone wolf that does everything by yourself. Yeah, you're just going to do everything on your own. You're just going to develop. You're going to get all the skills. You're going to get all the game. You're going to get all the information. You're going to read the books and listen to the podcasts and watch videos and get all the information. You're going to do everything on your own. You don't need to work with other people. It's too much work. You don't feel like going out and building relationships and talking to people and answering the phone. It's too much. You just do it all yourself. It's much easier to do it that way. At least it's faster. It's more efficient. Granted, if you are a smart, hard-working individual who has the right product market match, in other words, you got the right thing for the right people at the right time, you can become relatively successful doing everything on your own. When I say relatively successful, I say you could get yourself up to a ceiling of probably about $250,000 a year doing everything by yourself. And that's if you are, again, smart, hard-working, and you have the right product to market match. It might be a lot less than that depending on your product and your market. But you get up to $250,000 a year doing everything pretty much on your own. That can happen. But you're not going to get much further than that. And you can get a lot more done and really start scaling what you're doing and start multiplying those numbers if and when you collaborate with other people. Even if you're not at 250, you could be at 80 grand a year. You can start multiplying and shoot past the person who's stuck at 250 because they're doing everything by themselves if you start collaborating and working with other people starting at 80 grand. Everybody get what I'm saying here? So you don't have to get up to 250 grand and start synergizing and collaborating. You can start collaborating with people when you're at 0. You'll do things a lot faster, be a lot more efficient. There'll be a lot less asked of you personally because you can do what you do best. Other people who you're working with can do what they do best, and everybody's winning because everybody's in their zone, everybody's in their right space. This is why professionals collaborate, synergize, and use the brains of other people. This is one of the reasons why, where you hear me talk about how so many high-level professionals all have trainers and coaches around them. One of the reasons is so that they don't have to do the thing that the trainer and coach is doing. The reason your favorite singer has a voice coach is so that they don't have to voice coach themselves. They got somebody else to handle that. The reason that they have a manager is so they don't have to book their own shows. They let the manager handle that. See, the more people that they have around them, the fewer things they have to worry about. So the more they're able to focus on their money skills, which are the 2 or 3 things that they're amazing at. And you are amazing at 2 or 3 things. The more you're doing other stuff, the less you're doing those 2 or 3 things that you're amazing at. And those are the things that make you the most money. So the less time you spend doing the things that make you the most money, the less money you make. This is just perfect math. It makes sense, doesn't it? So how much time are you spending doing the things that you're great at? How much time do you spend doing the things that make you the most money? And then, why are you spending time doing everything else? These are 2 good questions you should ask yourself. And most people have never asked themselves either one of those questions. You get a lot more done, folks, in collaboration and synergizing with other people, where everybody's providing what they do best. Everybody wins. The whole team wins. Many people don't have the information to achieve at a higher level. They are not working hard at the right things. They do not have the right product or the right market to sell it to, and couldn't even tell you what their product or market is. So this whole concept of being a lone wolf doesn't even apply to many people, simply because you don't even have the pieces to be the lone wolf. To be the lone wolf, you got to be a highly resourced individual. You got to have the right information. You got to be working hard at the right stuff. You got to have the right product for the right market, and you got to know exactly what your market is. You have to do all that to even qualify to be the lone wolf. And even if you have all of those in place and you are the lone wolf, you're still not being as efficient as you could be in business, because you get a lot more done if you had other people with you. So even if you think you check the boxes on all of those things, you still aren't doing things as efficiently as you could be doing. And if you think you check the boxes on all of those things, okay, well, ask yourself, have you gotten to the level in business that you could just keep doing the same thing that you're doing right now, and that'll be fine for the rest of your life? Can you continue living the lifestyle? Would you want to continue living the lifestyle that you're living right now, given what you're doing in your business right now? If the answer is no, then you're not the lone wolf. The lone wolf still got to be able to kill, to eat. All right, if you can't go out there and kill and eat, then you ain't the lone wolf. You need to collaborate. You need to work with other people who know things that you don't know, who can do things that you can't do. Many people think they can be the lone wolf, but again, I just gave you the criteria. You got to have all of these in place. One thing that makes a professional is that they are known by other professionals. They're not just randomly floating about on an island. Other people at least know who you are and what you're about. Even if you're not collaborating with them, they should know your name. They should know what you're about and what you're bringing to the table, because some of their customers are also your customers. If you're living on an island doing everything by yourself, I don't think you're truly a professional. You should be known in your space. And if you're known in your space and you're doing good work, eventually what's going to happen is some people are going to come around and want to work with you. And or when you reach out to people, they will gladly accept and want to deal with you simply because they know your work. They know your name, they know your game. So for me, back in my basketball days, when I was on the internet and doing videos and things like that, I had people come to me with all kinds of collaboration offers, whether it was sell this program as an affiliate, whether it was let's do a collaboration, some collaboration content, whether it was, hey, let me do some things to your products and sell your products on your behalf. It was all kinds of offers that I was getting from people, because I was doing a lot of things pretty much on my own. I was doing the lone wolf thing, but I had all these pieces in place. I knew what I was doing. I was working hard. I knew exactly what my product was, and I knew exactly who my market was. So I was able to do the lone wolf thing, but I also did a whole bunch of collaboration at the same time. In the business world today, I get people coming to me. I get book deal offers. I get speaking gig offers. People who ask me to come to be on their shows, and from being on other people's shows, other people hear of me, and those people become part of my audience. Some of you who are listening to me now, the first place you heard of me was on somebody else's show. How did I get on that other person's show? Collaboration, because I'm out here doing the things to where I am known by other people who are in the space. That should be happening. If you're a lone wolf, other people in the space should know you, and they should be reaching out to you. You can reach out to them too, but they should be reaching out to you as well. One reason that I go to events these days as an entrepreneur is so that I can meet other people who are playing a similar game to the game that I'm playing. And I'm looking for ways to collaborate and borrow other people's brains, borrow other people's audiences, their insights, and their strategies. I'm looking to borrow those things from everybody that I meet. Why would I do all that by myself when I could easily just borrow from someone else who's already done all the legwork to figure it out? Why would I need to figure out how to do XYZ thing when there's somebody else out there who already knows how to do XYZ thing? Let me just borrow your brain and let you do it. All right, well, I gotta pay you money for it? Okay, I'll pay you money. But I just told you a few episodes ago how to use your money to buy time. What episode was that? That was episode number 2339. Why you should trade money for time. You should absolutely be doing this if you're not doing it already. Don't do everything by yourself. It takes too much work. It would take too long, and you're not good at everything. So the time it would take for you to make yourself good, you could have got that done in 10% of the time had you just borrowed somebody else's brain. And they would have gladly done it. They would have gladly worked with you, because you can let your brain be borrowed for what you're good at, and their brain can be borrowed for what they're good at. That's what we call synergy, folks. Collaboration, working together. Human beings are social creatures. Why do you think social media is so popular? Because human beings are wired to socialize and work together. All right, doing that, there's no such thing called isolation media. All right, so why are you isolating yourself? Why do that? Let's recap today's class, which is what the pros do that you don't. Everyone wants to be a professional at what they do, or at least they think they do. But many people They want the trappings of professional success: attention, fame, notoriety, respect, money, material outcomes. But what a lot of people don't understand is that there's a lot more that goes into it that lead to those outcomes. Number one, professionals invest in themselves and their business with money that they don't even have. So that means they go borrow money, they take out credit, they dip into their savings. Why do they do this? They do this because they are betting against their future self. They not against in a negative way, but they're betting on their future self is a better way of saying it. Then help you understand. They bet on their future selves by dipping into their current selves because they understand they're going to make more back on the back end than what they got on the front end. This is what you have to do to solve that chicken and egg problem. Well, I want to invest in myself, but I don't have the money. But until I invest in myself, I won't have the money. So which one do you do? This is what you do. Point number two, pros keep working even when things are not working. They show up to work the next day, they show up at the gym, they send another email, they make another call, they run another ad campaign, even when the last one didn't work. This is the separation day that separates the pros from the amateurs. How do you show up when things are not working? Don't tell me what you do when it is working. Tell me what you do when it's not working. And number three, they collaborate, synergize, and use the brains of other people. Many people, especially entrepreneurs, have this false idea of being a lone wolf. And listen, you can be the lone wolf. You can make somewhere between 80K and 250K a year being a lone wolf, given that you are smart, hardworking, you have the right product, the right market, and you can run everything on your own, and you know exactly what your product and market is. Many people don't even have those prerequisites in place, so you're not even qualified to be a lone wolf. All right, lone wolf, you should be making enough right now that you're good to just keep living exactly how you're living for the next 20 years, the exact same way every year for the next 20 years. If you're not doing that, then you can't be a lone wolf. Okay? And even if you are a lone wolf, you're still not the most efficient version of who you could be if you would just start collaborating with other people. Again, this is why social media is so popular. Social media is popular because it allows people to collaborate with each other, even if it's just through commenting and sharing and liking. Those are collaborations, and the collaboration also is between the platform that owns this, the people who own the platform, and the people who are creating the content. That's collaboration as well. The reason this is so popular is because human beings are wired to socialize. So if you're not socializing, you're going against the grain of your very nature. All this said, text me to get my daily motivation straight to your phone. My number 305-384-6894. Second, get your ticket to my next live event, Work on Your Game Live, happening February 3rd and 4th down here in Miami. Get your ticket again at workonyourgame.live. And third, your next step in my world is to join the university, get access to all of my courses, get coached directly by me in my coaching program, and get my exclusive trainings that I have inside of my university that are not available anywhere else. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.